Those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. This is Success with Srini.
On the podcast today, I'm sharing a simple 4-step process on how to go from nothing is happening with me to, okay, something is happening with me. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because, again, a conversation with a listener of my radio show, with a listener of this podcast, telling me on how she went from training to training, investing hundreds and thousands of dollars, and at the end has nothing to show, and tells me that the reason why I'm not succeeding is because I do not have a mentor. I do not have a coach, and that is why my results are not there. It's true that if you get a mentor, you get a coach, your results can be accelerated very, very quickly. And I've seen that happen with me, and I've happened with many of my clients. But I don't think that is the problem. And I do not advocate that you go get a coach. And even though I sell coaching, mentoring, and all those things, and I'm in that space, but I got to be very judicious with what I tell you on this podcast. I do not suggest that you go hire a coach or a mentor just because you want to hire one. It doesn't work that way. And I don't think any coach or any mentor will invest in you if they are in the business of investing into people unless they see something in you. So you can't buy this. If somebody sells you coaching because they are good or they're in the business of coaching, listen, you need somebody to invest into you. And it's not about you just investing money in them, but then a coach, a good coach or a good mentor is so vested in your success that they will go above and beyond to really take you to that summit that you want to go. It's not about, hey, you don't have energy, you don't have a skill, you don't have talents, I'm going to leave you in the middle of the mountain and walk down. I see that happening a lot, so I'm just calling it out. Here is how this 4-step process works, and this is exactly what I shared with this lady. The first and the foremost is the more people you talk to, the more ideas you'll get. The beauty of these ideas is that all these ideas have worked and all these people are successful, so they have worked. But how do you know what is going to work for you? And hence, what I suggest, or what I suggested to this lady is, pick one thing, and once you decide whatever that one thing is, start small. And starting small means it's difficult to really start small because everybody tells you to do everything overnight, and everybody will sell you into everything overnight. Nothing works overnight. Everything that's worth doing takes time, effort, and many more. So start small is to identify something that you know you can do and you want to focus on that area. So let's say you want to make $10,000 a month. Don't get too crazy about it. First and the foremost validation you need or you should seek is that you should be able to make $1, not $10,000, $1. And you give yourself 30 days, 60 days, 90 days to create that $1. And this $1 is the validation. Now, once you create that $1, the second validation is that can I repeat? Let's say you do make $1 in a month or two. Then the next goal is, can I make this $1 again? And if I do make this $1 again, my measure is going to be how much less time it took for me to make the second dollar. That is what I mean starting small. It doesn't sound sexy. It sounds odd if you compare the statement to everything else others are saying. But I mean it. See, you have not made a single dime, and you want to start a business and make $10,000 a month, start with $1. This is absolute, practical, to the point statement. Start with $1. Now keep on increasing that to 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 200, 500, whatever, and 1,000, right? And every time you do that, you get closer to the end goal. Now, the only way you can make the second dollar and the third dollar and the fourth dollar is if you practice daily. There was another conversation I had with this founder of a startup telling me that, we post, we create social media, but we are struggling to convert social media into sales. And they wanted to pick my brain. And I said, what kind of posts are you making on social media? Well, motivational quotes. I said, that's exactly what another million people are doing. I don't post any motivational quotes on social media. I post this podcast on social media. This is what I create every day. And I really put my brain, my effort behind all my podcasts. And this is what I stand for. They're not the best podcasts. I don't think that my podcast is the best podcast. But the effort is there. It's a daily. It's a practice. It's consistent. Okay? Yeah, sometimes I lack motivation to do this podcast. Yeah. And so is life. In life, there's so many things you got to do. But not everything needs to be preceded with motivation. But if you stay consistent, then motivation will find you. But you'll only become consistent once motivation finds you. That's not a condition. So, you got to practice daily. Whatever that small thing is, whatever that small area that you're focused on, that one thing that you want to accomplish, every day, daily, practice. Now, while you are practicing daily, that means you are consistent. That means that you are repeating whatever has to be repeated consistently. You got to also become tactful. That's the step number 3. You got to become tactful. Tactics. So what else can I learn? What else can I do to get this small little thing to work? And as you start with that mindset, like, can I bring in one more tactic? Can I bring in a little bit more know-how? Can I read more? Can I implement, a new idea, a new concept? This small thing that you are trying to accomplish, it becomes easy. It becomes, your mind starts to see, I can accomplish this. But you got to stay tactful, because you don't want to be in a situation where you can accomplish the goal of making the $1 or $5 or $10, but you miss out on the lesson. And the lesson could be that, if you bring these new tactics in, then you learn, you implement, then you grow, the growth part. You don't want to miss the lesson as far as growth is concerned. And then the step number 4 to this process is you got to seek advice. I'm not saying go spend money with a coach or a mentor and accelerate your success. Yes, if you bring in people with more experience, more know-how, yes, you can accelerate success. And this lady has a point too. But my point is, you don't need to. Reading a book is seeking advice. Having a conversation with a friend, seeking advice. Participating in a class is seeking advice. Advice is available at multiple places in different shapes and forms. You got to have the mind to seek that. Yes, and I've gone on to say this multiple times, the best advice is free, and for everything else you have to pay. Okay? The best advice is everywhere. See, I remember once standing in front of Stanford. This was many years ago, and going to a meetup, not a meetup, but a presentation at Stanford, and seeing the founder of Mint on the stage, the mint.com, and waiting for him for about 45 minutes after he was done presenting, and then walking behind him all the way to the parking lot asking questions. He built an $800 million company, and he has something that I do not have. This was nearly 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 16 years ago, something like that. So it's available. Advice is available. You got to ask. And that's why I keep on repeating myself on this podcast. Hey, you have a question, ask. Don't schedule any consultations with me. Do not go to my website and pay money. None of that. Just ask if you have a question. And I'll do everything I can with whatever I know through my research, if need be, and bring an answer and present it in front of you. And nothing, I have no loss personally, and you have nothing to lose. And again, as I said, the best information is free, and for everything else you have to pay. This is how I would do this. This is exactly what I told her. And this is what I'm sharing with you, because there might be something that you are trying to accomplish. May not be money. Money is just an example. May not be a business. Something. Maybe you're trying to lose weight. Maybe you're trying to save some money. Maybe you're trying to change your job, whatever situation you are in. Maybe you're trying to alter a relationship. Start small. Start small. Practice daily. Become tactful. Seek advice. Seek counsel. That's all for now. You have a wonderful Monday, and I wish you a wonderful start of the week. And I will catch up with you as early as tomorrow. Stay tuned.